Welcome back. Well, trade was definitely the hot button issue here at Commodity Classic this week, but it wasn't the only one. Michelle Rook spoke to all four association CEOs represented here at Commodity Classic to really take a deep dive into the issues impacting corn, soybean, sorghum, and wheat growers. And that's this week's Farm Journal Report.
Yeah, Ty, the common thread through most of the top priorities of the major commodity groups for 2025 is demand, because after the recent reset seen in the grain prices, every crop is relying on demand to get prices back to profitable levels. And so their priorities cover the spectrum, including trade and exports, but also biofuels policy. A new administration has reset some of the priorities for the nation's leading commodity associations versus a year ago. ASA CEO Steve Sensky says they have concerns about the Make America Healthy Again program and are playing offense to protect seed oils.
Because seed oils, of course, half of the soybean oil use is used for human consumption, the other half for biofuels, and we need to maintain that domestic market.
Plus, they don't want to lose the use of GMOs and glyphosate under HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Our hope is that, Secretary Kennedy will be taking a look at the science and be guided by the science, but we also want to make sure that Secretary Rollins and Administrator Zeldin have all of the support and information they need so that to ensure that whatever decisions are coming out of the MAHA Commission and recommendations, that they are science-based.
Trade is also high on their list as tariff uncertainty continues, especially focused on top customers, Canada, Mexico, and China.
We export half of the crop that we grow here in the United States. The soybeans that are grown are exported overseas. Number one market is China. Number two individual country market is Mexico. And Canada is our fourth largest meal market. And so those are all important markets for us.
The last trade war put soybeans at the tip of the spear, so they're hoping tariffs are a tool for negotiating trade deals, including with China.
U.S. agriculture lost, according to the ERS, about $27 billion from the last trade war. 71% of that was borne by soybean farmers in the soybean industry. And we don't want to go through that again. And it would be far better to reach a phase 2 trade agreement.
Biofuels policy is key for soybean and corn farmers as uncertainty with 45Z has many biodiesel plants shuttered and guidance is needed on sustainable aviation fuel. But the even more important biofuels policy for 2025 for corn growers is E15.
We're looking at year-round nationwide E15 as a driver of that demand creation in the short term. And so for every 1% increase in the blend rate equates to almost 500 million bushels of demand. And so E15 is not a mandate, so that's not going to happen.
He thinks odds of passing an E15 bill are high as they have support even from the American Petroleum Institute.
The stars are aligning once more to get that completed in the next CR that expires in a couple of weeks. And we are grateful for a lot of strong bipartisan support out in Washington, D.C.
Trade takes second place, both striking new deals and avoiding a trade war with Mexico, their top corn customer, in Canada, a leading ethanol importer. And their analysis documents the damage from tariffs.
Not good for corn farmers in general. We did that in conjunction with the American Soybean Association, and it concluded that a trade war is really only good for Brazil, and we hope to avoid that.
For the nation's sorghum producers, their top ask, just like last year, is getting a new farm bill passed.
Obviously, challenges in the country. We need the certainty that farm policy provides and that underpinning for growers and their financing institutions. And so certainly that continues to be a huge lift, but something that is very important to our growers.
Trade is also high on their list, but instead of playing defense, they want to play offense, growing markets in Southeast Asia, China, and India.
When we talk about trade, when we talk about where opportunities are to go play offense, our industry has, there's many countries around the world we still don't have access to. And so just excited about the opportunity to talk about what we can do to get into other markets.
And they, too, are awaiting details on 45Z biofuels policy. Passing a modernized farm bill also tops the agenda for wheat growers, says NOG CEO Chandler Gould.
making sure we adjust our PLC prices, make sure we maintain our voluntary conservation programs, but most importantly, that we keep crop insurance, if not expand it so that it is more affordable and can cover more growers across the country.
He says they'll know how much money Congress has to write a bill after budget reconciliation is completed.
So far, we've not heard of any cuts out of Title I or Title II or the crop insurance title. So hopefully we can maintain that amount so that we can at least write a farm bill that will be reflective again of the current cost of production.
And they're also hopeful for tax policy extensions, including the 1031 like-kind land exchanges.
So, making sure that we keep a lot of those tax cuts that President Trump put in that first time, making sure that we maintain stepped-up bases, which is critical for our growers as land values continue to go up.
Export expansion is also key for NOG, and they're watching how DOGE impacts programs like USAID.
All those programs where we send our U.S. wheat to developing countries is critical to help us maintain a good domestic market price.
And it's key because half of the U.S. wheat crop is sold internationally. I'm Michelle Rook for U.S. Farm Report.
Thanks, Michelle. Well, as we really take a deep dive into trade and what's at risk, just how much corn and soybeans were exported through U.S. beef and pork in 2024? We have those numbers and ag around the world next.
Watch Markets Now with Michelle Rook on the Farm Journal YouTube channel, keeping you updated throughout the day on the markets at the open, midday, and close. Find out what moved the markets today and what to expect the market to do next.